Welcome to our first lesson. Today we are solving equations. We're going to start with a little bit of notes and then move into some examples. To start, in order to solve an equation, you must isolate the variable, isolate being the key word to get by itself. In order to isolate the variable, we use inverse operations, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Alright, there are 3 steps to solving an equation. First, distribute if necessary. Second, combine like terms if you can. And then finally, you're going to use your inverse operations in multiple steps to get the variable by itself. So let's see this. Let's see some of the properties. Distributive property means to distribute the multiplication over all terms. So here we're distributing the a to both the b and the c, which becomes ab plus ac. Combine like terms is exactly what it means. You are combining terms that are the same so that you can simplify the equation. Here we have x and 2x are like terms. We're going to combine those and make 3x. Okay, so let's look at some examples on this. First step, distribute if necessary. Here we're distributing -6. So we do -6 times -6, which is positive 36. And -6 times r, which is -6r. We can't combine like terms, so we move on to step 3, which is inverse operations. We need to get r by itself, so we first have to get rid of the 36. So we subtract 36 from both sides, and we get 96. Okay, then we divide by -6 to get it by itself, and we get r equals -16. r is by itself, so we have our complete answer. Example 2, this time we have a fraction bar. We have division in there. So it's going to be very similar to the last one. We can't distribute. We skip the combine like terms. So we're going straight into inverse operations. We need to get rid of that plus 6. To get rid of plus 6, we subtract 6 from both sides and we get 2. Now to get rid of divide by 10, the inverse operation is multiply by 10. So we're going to multiply both sides by 10 and we get that x is 20. Again, we've isolated x, so we're done with this question. Next example, this time the fraction bar has subtraction in it. So we can't get rid of that -5 first. We have to get rid of the divide by 10 first. The inverse operation divide by 10 is multiply by 10. So we get x minus 5 equals to -10. Okay, now we can get rid of the -5. So we add 5 to both sides and we get x is -5. Our final example, this time it's a little bit more complicated. We start with distribute. So we're going to distribute that negative and make it -x plus 6, and then the -7 just comes down. We're going to then combine like terms. On the right side we have positive 6 and -7, which make -1. Now we're going to use inverse operations to isolate the variable. First thing we have to do is get the variable on one side of the equation. So we're going to add x to both sides and we get -1 equals -1. Since there are no variables left, we ask ourselves, is this a true statement? Since it is a true statement, we put infinitely many solutions. If it had not been true, we put no solution. Alright, that's everything there is to solving an equation. Good luck with practice.